person. Would you mind standing up, please? We should balance in our life, and before we concentrate our people healthy, so we keep our health. Okay, please follow me. If I say right, please say right, and then move your leg to the right side, to the left side. Sorry. Yeah. So right. You said right, and then your left move to the left side. Okay. And also, if I said left, please say left, and then you move to the left to the right side. Okay? Okay. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. Right. Right. Left. Left. Right. Left. Okay. I add one more. If I said one, please give applause 3 times here. And then if I said 3, you said 3 just for 1 class. Okay? Are you ready? Yes. Okay. 3. How many times? Once. Only once. Okay. 3. 1. 1. Right. Right. Be concentrated well. Left. 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 Right. 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 Left. Left. 3. How many times? Only one. 3. 1. 1. Right. Okay. Big applause for you all.
Ang warm-up natin, bukas, pag gano'n.
I'm very happy with this, and very enthusiastic until finished on the program student. Okay, here I want to share with you about the entrepreneurial transformational leadership and higher education. And for introductions, this is my campus, located in Surabaya, East Java province, one of province in Indonesia. This is Java Islands. And in Indonesia, there are 3,300, almost the higher education, public education and also private education. And there are some things unique from Surabaya. And sound. Dr. Pilot already visited to my campus, and this is the special place and something unique from Surabaya. So if you visit to Surabaya, you can go and you can visit with the Suryani Bridge. This is the longest bridge in Southeast Asia. So the longer than Pinang Bridge. So you can visit to this place. And we have also traditional foods because Semanggi Surabaya. This is also Zeng. That's the title Semanggi Surabaya, and it is very popular singer and also popular foods. It's kind like this is a vegetables, and there is a salad, traditional salads, and we also this is a sport very popular in Surabaya, footballs, and this is the supporter of the football that very popular in Indonesia. We call the bonek. And this is the mosque, the big mosque in Surabaya. So I think it's very interesting if you visit in the next occasion to my cities. Okay, if we are talking about leadership, I think it is very important for changes in our life. And it is very important as youth to transform as an agent of change in your environment. And Dr. Tatik said that it is not easy to manage people. Why? Because people is not only creatures of logical, but they have emotions. Sometimes, like us, have a good mood. Sometimes we have a bad mood. And how to handle it, it's not easy. We also find, like Mr. Juari thought, that sometimes there is people that prejudice to do something. But sometimes we are very enthusiastic when we meet people with optimistic and high motivation like that. So we are lucky if we are around these people high motivation. So it is very important as the leader to understand about human being, to understand about people behavior if we want to manage people. And this is my presentations or my sharings. You can see that. And this is why the leadership is very important. We live in organizations, in small organizations like family, and also in campus or university or other in society. And every organization now should be changed because the globalizations and everything. We should adapt with the situation like that. In condition that uncertainty, in turbulent situations, we should adapt our organization with the situations. And also, like, we should adapt ourselves to the society. And one determinant factor, very important, is about leadership. And many of us are still young, and it is very important to have a skill about leadership, because if you have a strong leadership, you can change your environment. You can change values that more harmony with others, with tolerance, like Pak Juari said, and also make the world peaceful. And if we are talking about the organizations, McKinsey have tools that we can call 7S. 7S means that in the organization there are hard equipment and also soft equipment. The hard thing is about structure, strategy, and system. So if we change one of these, we can should change the other things, like share values, skill, staff, and style. So, for example, if now in turbulent situations, we should adapt the structure of organization, become slim, not hierarchical, not bureaucratic. So we should change the system to compatible with the structure. And it's very hard, it's not easy to adapt the system and the strategy. So for example, of now, our society becomes environment friendly. So how our business should do? We should more concerns to the environment. Like we should do green marketing and other things that the people want to how to manage our organizations. And if we are talking about leadership, we are talking about the style. So the style, even they are the soft in organization, but it is very important. Why? Because everything can run well if the leader can manage, can actuate, can direct the member of the organization, and organize the all system structure to achieve the goal. And now I just remind of us that now we already in ASEAN Economic Community. Now we are in MEA, what we call, that the situations is very different. Also in business situation is very different. So every organization and also the business should adapt with the situations because the situation is very different. So what we should do, I think, look at the global competitive index rankings. What our country position, you can see. Right, for example, Indonesia. Indonesia is an average. Singapore is the top rank in ASEAN countries. And the competitive index is there are many parameters like, for example, infrastructure, primary education, and health, and also the GDP and others. And from Thailand, yeah, I think it's better than Indonesia. Yeah. Filipina, yeah, there are sometimes we are same, but sometimes there is up and down. This is the situations in Asian countries. The competitive index is like that. So if we do something, we should also mention the situations. And this is the, I just add this information that this is the survey to the CEO, the respondent, that conducted by AUSN. This is the what the investor perceive about business environment. Yeah. Like here, that countries that the green colors, it is a very positive side. Yeah. But for the red color, it's not a good zones. So we can see this. That is our country. That's the ASEAN countries overall. That's Indonesians, and then Malaysians, and then Filipina, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. You see that Vietnam is a new, they are green line for business. Yes. For direct investment, now investor goes to the investment in Vietnam. Indonesia, even though they red sign, but because a big market, so every multinational company focus on Indonesia as a market, like that. Okay, and why entrepreneurial transformational leadership is very important. The terminology of entrepreneurial transformation actually is come from my research with my PhD students, that sometimes leader not only have transformational leadership, but sometimes they also have entrepreneur. So that's a combination between entrepreneur and transformation. And it is very important in business situations right now. Why? Because every organization should catch up the opportunities to grow, to survive. And who is can kids quickly, they can get opportunities. And according to Parolin, that transformational leadership can develop as follower to behave as a leader. So if we, as a leader, if we are as a leader and we have a transformational leadership, we can inspire to our follower, to the member organization. We can give attention more to our members, and also we can stimulate the intellectual. So creativity, innovations like that become growing in our organization, and it is very important in this situation, because the more creative we are, we can catch the opportunity. Yeah? Like what the Peter Drucker said, that innovate or die. If organization can innovate well, they can die or escape from the business situations. And also transformational leaders change motivations of the followers. Sometimes the follower or the member organizations, they follow the leader, but because they have a perception that I should obey our leader because I am a follower. But in transformation leadership, they voluntarily follow the leader. So if the leader, okay, now you do some things, or what you can do for giving contribution to the organizations, so the followers or the members try hard to do something, thinking creative, thinking seriously to make a contribution to the organization. And this is the characteristic of transformational leadership. We call for R. Firstly, idealist influence. The transformational leadership have a charisma, like a magnet, like a special character that people very respect with this behavior. So they follow. The leader also become a role model. That now is we are found difficulty to get a good role model in our society, but it can be done. I think I do believe that you can do as transformational leadership. And the second is inspirational motivations, and then intellectual stimulation and individualized considerations. So there are 4 I's, and this is for firstly, direct influence. I have already discussed. The transformational leaders usually have high standard of morality. They also behave based on ethics and morality. So that why the member of the organization follow the leader. They deeply respect and trust to the leader. And I think it's very important. And it can be trained. So if we want to be idealized influence, we can do. Even though maybe a little bit. And also the transformational leaders also provide a vision and sense of missions. They are not only talking about the vision of the organization, but they also bring the people to understand and to operate the visions in the daily activity in this business or in the organization. For example, if the leader appreciate with the healthy or with the good governance, for example, they also voluntarily to inspire, to direct, to give codes how to make a good governance for the organization like that. And the second I is inspirational motivations. Why the transformational leaders have inspirational motivations? Mostly, transformational leadership have a good communications. So they can communicate well. They can tell something with telling something that understandable by the followers. And not only this, they are also inspiring the followers. So the followers also feel happy and have encouraged to doing something like what the visions, like what the leader expectations. And they also use emotion appeals and symbol to focus follower to achieve goal. So I think if in transformational leadership, they can make a good team because the situations in organization is the climate of the organization is in good conditions, so everybody is happy and they have high motivation to do something. And the third I is intellectual stimulations. Yeah, it is very important now in the competition age. I think if we make a world to be faithful, this is also very important, because now mostly people have senior high school level educations, and we should make them how to do something more creative, how to make people have innovation like that. The leader with the transformation leadership usually support the followers. So they give opportunity to the followers to do something, and they appreciate with what the followers do. They also not only give opportunity, but also give a reward, appreciation for everybody who can improve the organization by the creation of the solutions. And the fourth is about individualized considerations. It is usually done by coaching and advising. Usually, if we found the leader, usually they can be a good coach, but they cannot be advising, because usually as a leader, they just only think about performance and performance. If followers or the members can achieve this performance or the standard of the performance, usually the leader gave a coach. You do something this. It's a very technical that is delivered by the leader. But to be advisor, it's not many leaders done, because it should be have counseling ability. They should know personally for the followers, and also they should know about the psychological. Counseling needs the psychology knowledge, and also skill. And if the leader have 4A or the transformation leader, so the organization usually can achieve the performance, and not only the performance, but also the satisfaction of the members. Okay. And some of the transformational leadership, some of them have this characteristic. So this is mostly the transformational leader have this character, and the character actually is the attribute of the entrepreneur. So entrepreneurial transformation leadership is the leadership with 4 A's, and they also these attributes. For example, all they are have the independent. So they give a liberty, means that they give opportunity to everybody to talk, to initiate, to solve the problem of the organization. And usually they have a need achievement. So mostly they have high achievement. So they are very perfect. They try to do with your best to achieve the quality. It's about need achievement motivation. If people have high motivations or need achievement motivation, they behave like that. And usually they self-confident and internal locus of control. It is very important for the members of the organization if they have internal locus of control, and also for the leader. Why? Because if the people have internal locus of control, they believe that everything can be controlled by himself. It means that if there is a mistake, they feel guilty that, oh, because it's my mistake, not everybody's mistake, not the environment like that. So they try hard, they try to control something to achieve the organization. And also risk taker, but they are realistic to set the target, and also they are not gambling to do something else. And then identify and seeking opportunities, like have knowledge and informations. Why the entrepreneurs have knowledge and informations? Because it is very important to identify the opportunities. To see the opportunities, it is very important. And the entrepreneur always try to see the opportunities and everywhere to set the goal. And then concern with efficiency and quality. I think in everything, we do the right thing and we do things right. This Dr.Tatik say like that. So we do efficient and we do for effective. Yeah. Efficient, and then here is quality. Quality is mean that we do with the best one to get the best. Focus on objective and target, well managed, and good communication skill. I think it's very important. Not only for the entrepreneur, but also for the leaders. Networking and persistence. So these are the entrepreneurs. Okay. And how to develop it in higher education? I think every university have many programs to make the student have good leadership. Yeah, this is the possibility that we can do by leadership training programs. For example, in Indonesia, usually for the higher education director general offer the management and leadership, fundamental management and leadership training program for the students who have a, like Indonesia called Badan Eksekutif Mahasiswa. This is the prominence of the students organizations. And then by mentoring in small groups, we can make the student to practice about the leaderships by make groups, and then we give assignments, and as a teacher we can monitor how they do, how they manage teams, and it's a good exercises for them to leadership skill, to get a leadership. Workshop, academic courses means that some course is designed for improving their knowledge, their skill about leadership. And transformational leadership also can be trained by this course, even though mostly it's not effective, because usually monitoring by the teacher or the lecturer is not very serious, because some of lecturers only focus on cognitive knowledge, but not in skill or in psychomotor or affective side. And sometimes also integrated academic. It means that by in curriculum and also supported by non-academic program. So it combines between this program and this programs. And they have tools for monitoring that integrated from the academic and also non-academic side. And also, I think our program also as tools for exercise our leaderships. Okay. Outreach programs. Some university offer the outreach programs, so students initiate to make a project, and then they apply in some communities, and then they learn about leadership and followership in the situations, or in the entrepreneurship project program. It's not only for improving the knowledge, but it is the execution directly. The implementation, how to make a start a business, it is very important. Okay. And after the program, how the impact? It is one example that when we do three kinds of the programs, like entrepreneurship project, and then curriculum and non-curriculum integrated for the leadership. We can measure the student perceptions, how they feel about their their traits and also their performance. So it's measured by the students perceive. Mostly, more than 70% of the students feel that now they become independent. They have autonomy to make decisions like that. They're more confidence, not only confidence in every activity in campus, but also they are confident to offer something, to initiate something like that. And they are also more aware for seeking opportunities. So if there is an event in campus, they try what kind of project should I do to catch the opportunity. For example, oh, he sells something, they has idea, and then to get a sponsorship like that. You know the new people, there is a good for networking, you do that like that. More proactive to seek the relevant information, because it is very important to make the right decisions. Or concerned with efficiency, why? Because business should get profit, should make people happy, and it should be efficient. Focus on goal, and it is very important, self-management and management skill. So after they have experiences, after doing many exercises in leadership training, they feel that they can manage themselves, and it is very important for his life. And he think that's not only self-management, but now I also have management skill, good communication skill. It's specifically for public speaking, to communicate in public, and then need networking skill, to make a negotiation and to make a new relations with other people. And the conclusions is like that. I think that every of us, everybody has leadership attitudes, and it can be developed. It can be made more success if we exercise, if we train from time to time our leadership skill. So that's why in the situation that we already mentioned from the about the 17 goals. So we can change our environment to achieve 1, 2, or 3 goals, or all the goals. Because we can, by transformational leadership, we can change our environments. And this is the key, because my topic is about entrepreneurial and transformational leadership, so it is very important. If we read many books about leadership, actually there are many approaches in leadership style, but it is the one of the contemporary leadership is transformational leadership. Sometimes it's opposite with the transactional leadership. That's all my presentation.
Thank you very much.
Sharing from you all questions.
Any questions? Any questions? Are you all going to be effective leaders?
I think that you do already done about leadership.
Can everybody be a leader? Do you think every personality type?
If they try, they practice more and more, they be a good leaders.
The question, Very nice presentation, very comprehensive. I'd like to know, are there what you call born leaders?
Yes, there is the one theory we call a great man theory. This is the oldest theory about leadership. They believe that leadership is born. And why they make a conclusion like that? Because they should feel the top leader, the success leader, and they identify what kind of success leader. Or based on the research, they make a conclusion that success leader, because they have many attributes, like they are very intelligent, they are creative, they're more capable, they honest, and many positive side of attributes. But in complex situations, a trait is not enough. Yeah. Leader should behave flexible according to the organization situations. So that rise of the behavior approach in leadership, like leadership, participatory leadership, and also we have the contemporary approach is transformational leadership. So maybe even though we have traits to be a leader, but if we are not sovereign, our attribute of the characteristic, it's very difficult to be a leader. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
Okay, any questions? So,
We had some.
all of you have already a leader.
Any questions on Skype? We can hear you. We had some concurrence from some of our friends. Any other comments or questions?
There's a question from
Okay.
Yes.
Agnes.
Agnes, thank you.
Dr. Tatik,
Yes.
thank you for that presentation. I just would like to ask if peace can be achieved through transformational leadership.
Yeah.
Can peace be achieved through transformational leadership?
I'm very optimistic that peace can be achieved by transformational leadership. Why? Because if we have a transformational leadership, we can change our environment, and the environments follow us because they're sincere to follow us. Because we can be a good role model to make happy, to make peace in the world. And I think why now it is very difficult to make a peace, because the leader cannot act as a role model. Yeah. They can stimulate intellectuals, but not for peace. And they also think about his interest, not people interest. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other? I think we've had a wonderful day. Thank you.